Do you want eggnog at Christmas and the holidays and New Year's and maybe a little alcohol in it if you want? Well, I got a recipe for you. I got 2 of them. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to make them. Okay, to make this eggnog that doesn't have any eggs in it, we're going to need 3 cups of nut milk of your choice, or if you want to use regular milk, use regular milk. It's your eggnog, so whatever you want to use. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Now we're going to measure out some heavy whipping cream. This is going to be where our thickening will come from, and it'll be roughly a 1/2 cup. So this is about a 1/2 cup here. Now comes the spice and things like that for it. Now, I'm going to use the top of this for some vanilla extract. Anybody else use the top of the vanilla extract just to get you some vanilla extract in it, in something, instead of getting out the measuring spoon? It's got its own built-in measuring spoon. That's fun. That's one thing. We're going to get a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. Now, if you had rum extract, you could put rum extract in it. You could add a little ginger if you wanted to give it a little bit of a spicy taste to it. You could add cloves, nutmeg. I don't have any fresh nutmeg. I do have some ground nutmeg, but I wasn't able to find it before starting this video, so not real sure where it ended up. But fresh nutmeg, or the actual nut, is hard to find for us around here. Now, this is going to be a little loud, so I apologize right off the bat. Okay, we got that mixed in there. Now we're going to add us a little sweetener. I wanted to get all those little items mixed in and then add the sweetener. So we'll get the sweetener and put it in. I'm going to use Confectioner's Swerve in this. It's a powdered sweetener. If you don't have any powdered sweetener, if you put it in through your food processor, your regular sweetener, it'll become powdered. And that ought to be enough there. If it's not, we'll add more. Let me see if I can catch all of that in there so I don't get it on the stove. And we're going to blend again. So I'll be right back. So this is what it looks like inside there. Can you see that? And we're going to pour it now into a glass, or something like a glass. So let's get glass. If it's plastic and it's shaped like a glass, is it still called a glass? this makes 2 servings, but just pouring it in here just to show you how much it made. This is a good sized cup, glass, whatever, here. So I'm going to separate it and I'll use this in 2 sittings. But stand by and I'll come back and we'll do a taste test. So here we have the finished product. I poured it in a little cup that I actually could have made it in this had it not been more than I would have held it, because it would have gone past the max fill mark. But anyway, let's give it a try. That's a pretty good substitute for eggnog. It's more like a rum chata to me, though. I just found this on the internet without any author attributed to it. But I have another recipe that uses egg beaters instead of raw eggs, the whole egg, and I'm gonna show you that also in this video. But the taste test on this is not bad, and if you added a little rum in it, it'd be real good, or a little bit of whiskeys, whatever your alcohol of choice is, and it would be pretty good. It's not bad like it is. It's does taste more like a horchata to me. Don't know if you've ever had an horchata, but it does taste more like one to me. But we'll be back to make a second type of eggnog. So I've got the basic recipe the same here, but we're going to add egg beaters. Now, egg beaters is just the standard egg beaters. Let me get the back package for you here. It's just a standard thing. It's less than a carb, 25 calories for 3 tablespoons. Less than a carb for 3 tablespoons. And egg beaters, for if you don't know, it's basically egg whites with a little bit of color in it to make it look like eggs. But that's really all it is. So we're going to add that in there. A 1/4 cup. And now you're saying, well, that's raw. That's raw. We're doing it with raw. Well, yeah, you're right. But while it is raw, the thing you got to know is, where does it say it? These are pasteurized, so there's no danger of getting any salmonella or whatever it is that you get from a raw egg. It is a real egg product. It's not fake. It is pasteurized, though. It says it right here, down here on it, pasteurized. So you're safe to use it as a way of having eggnog with it. So not to worry. So we've got the finished product here, homemade eggnog. It's the same basic recipe as what I did on the first version, but this time I added the egg beaters, which are pasteurized. They are raw, but they are pasteurized, so you should be safe from them. Even though your chances of catching salmonella or whatever it is, botulism, salmonella, whatever it is from the eggs is virtually none these days. It just doesn't happen. The eggs that go through a process, and so, or you can just buy pasteurized eggs to begin with, and you'll be fine, because that kills any kind of bacteria that there may be. So it's the same recipe with the addition of that. So let's see what it did, because the other, while it tasted good, it really didn't taste like eggnog. It tasted more like an horchata, which is a Mexican drink that is very, very good, and I like them. A rum chata is excellent. So let's see what this tastes like. Wow, big difference. You get the egg flavor for the eggnog, and it's really good in there, and it comes through. It's not as thick as regular eggnog because you did not whip anything, but it's excellent. I feel like I got something on my mouth, but you didn't whip it, so you didn't get that. But you did put it in a blender, so it did whip up some. It's much thicker than the other, but Joe Duff, the diet chef, he also, if you want to go look up his recipe, he has a eggnog where he does it with the egg beaters himself. But I made this adaptation myself. It's not his recipe. The first recipe was one I found on the internet randomly with no author associated with it. But he makes one that is similar, but he puts some vanilla pudding, like a teaspoon of vanilla, sugar-free vanilla pudding into it, and adds it to it when he's going through the blender, and then he lets it sit, and it thickens up over time a little bit, and it becomes more thicker. Now, if you want to use the vanilla pudding, it would be really good. The other thing, you could put some vanilla collagen in it, and that would work as a thickening agent as well. Probably could put some vanilla protein powder in here, and it would act like a thickening agent. However, I don't know if you can see, it's not watery. It's actually fairly thick. It's fairly thick. The cinnamon and the allspice, I feel like I got a mustache now. They shine through greatly. So we've got almond milk, heavy whipping cream, some vanilla extract, cinnamon, allspice, and sweetener. That's the basic recipe. Then we added some egg beaters to give it an egg taste, not an eggier taste because it didn't have an egg taste, an egg taste. So that's your recipe right there, and it's pretty tasty. I'm telling you, that is excellent. That is excellent, and I did it in just a matter of a few minutes. So I'm pleased with how this turned out. You could use regular egg whites, but it wouldn't have that yellowy tinge that you get with the store-bought eggnog or the eggs, and using raw eggs with eggnog. Look, it wouldn't have that, but it would still work perfectly because egg beaters are nothing more than raw eggs with a little coloring to look like regular eggs, like whole eggs that are scrambled up. So you've got, it would not have. Let me see if I can show you. Wow, that built up some pressure in there, didn't it? Let's see if I can show you. Can you see how it came out with that tinge in there, that eggy tinge, that color? But it would not have had that if you'd have used regular egg whites. So that was important. Like I said, you could add the alcoholic beverage of your drink. You could add some rum extract to give it that flavor. A little, about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon, I should say, of rum extract would be excellent in that. So there you have it. Maple extract maybe, or maple syrup in there too. That would give it good flavor if it has a sweetener. So if you find it's not sweet enough, just add this, maybe add a little bit of stevia to go along with it to bring out the taste of the erythritol, the powdered erythritol, powdered swerve. But remember, if you don't have powdered, don't worry about it. Put the granular into your food processor, or if you've got a coffee grinder, put it in that. Don't know if it'd work in the blender, but it might. If you put enough of it in there, it might work in the blender. And you can make your own powder in there. So, because that way you don't have to keep two on hand. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. And I hope you come back next time to the next video. I'm hoping the next video will be one on how to make some oven-baked eggs, cream eggs. And I'm hoping to get it out in the next couple of days. So thank you for tuning in. Hit the button, hit the like button right down here. You know where it is, right down there. Hit the subscribe button. It helps me, does me a lot of good. Doesn't take you but a second. In the meantime, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope everybody had a safe Christmas. Mine was wonderful. Got to see family. We hadn't had a family get together since Christmas 2019. And it was nice. It was nice to do that. So in the meantime, let's be careful out there. The best way to clean your blender. Gets the bulk of it out, and you're ready to move on before you know it.